Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make an apple tart. So let's get started. To make the tart crust, in a medium bowl add in the flour, powdered sugar, and salt, and mix them together until they're combined. Then add in the cold butter that has been cut into pieces. And use your fingers to rub it into the flour mixture until the mixture is really fine like breadcrumbs. Then add in the egg yolk and ice cold water. Mix it with a spoon to combine the ingredients. Then use your hands to bring it together into a smooth ball, but try not to overwork it. The dough has to stay cold, so if it's really soft, wrap it in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for about 15 to 20 minutes until it firms up. Then lightly flour the work surface. Place the dough on top. Lightly flour the top of the dough. And roll it out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then roll the dough up around the rolling pin and unroll it over a 9-inch tart pan. If you don't have a tart pan, you can just use a pie pan. Then lift and lower the dough until it fits inside the pan. Then remove any excess and use the excess dough to fill in any holes or places where the dough is too thin. And use a fork to poke a bunch of holes into the crust so you don't get any air bubbles in the crust. Then place it into the freezer for about 20 minutes until it's really well chilled. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 425 degrees. Once the tart crust is chilled, remove it from the freezer. Lightly grease a sheet of aluminum foil and press it on top of the crust in the pan. Then add uncooked beans or rice into the pan to weigh it down and keep it from puffing up in the oven. Then bake it in the oven for 12 minutes. Then remove it from the oven. Turn the oven temperature down to 350 degrees. Then carefully remove the beans and the aluminum foil. And place the crust back into the oven and bake it for 10 minutes until it's just barely starting to brown. Then remove it from the oven and place it onto a cooling rack and set it aside to cool. Then turn the oven temperature up to 375 degrees. Then wash and dry the apples and peel them. Then core and thinly slice them. Use any firm cooking apples you like, and you can use red or green apples. There's not a lot of sugar in the recipe, so if you use tart green apples, it will be mildly sweet. So if you would like it to be sweeter, then use sweet red apples. Then toss the sliced apples with lemon juice to keep them from turning brown. Then place each of the slices curved side facing out into the tart pan and add them all around the pan until all or most of the slices are in the pan. It may seem like a lot, but it will shrink down as it bakes, so it needs to be piled high. Then mix together the sugar and cinnamon in a small bowl and sprinkle it evenly over the top of the tart. Then cut the butter into very small pieces and add them all over the top of the tart. Then place the tart into a large baking pan and bake it in the oven for about 40 minutes until the apples are tender and brown. When it's done, remove it from the oven and place it onto a cooling rack and let it cool slightly. To make the apricot glaze, which is optional, in a small bowl add in the apricot preserves and water. Stir them together to combine them, and heat it in the microwave for 20 to 30 seconds until it's hot and ready. Then carefully brush it over the top of the apple tart, and that will give it a shiny finish. When the tart is cooled enough to handle, carefully remove it from the pan and transfer it to your serving plate, or you can serve it still in the pan. And you can serve it while it's still warm or cool to room temperature. And that's how to make an apple tart. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I have so many more on my channel, so be sure to check them out and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.